Welcome to Season 3 of the I Talk to Angels podcast. I'm Beverly Densham, author of the book I Talk to Angels. I really look forward to bringing you tips, meditations, angel card readings and guidance from the angels every week to help and inspire you, whether you're new to the angels or have loved the angels for a long time. It's podcast day. Thank you so much for coming to today's podcast. And I've got a guest. How exciting is this? Before now, I've only had my mum on. Hi, Mum. And that was an amazing chat that day. And today I'm really excited to be joined by Anna Grace Taylor, who's an angel therapist and author of the beautiful book, Messages of Grace, 111 Notes of Love and Guidance from Your Angels. So the angels say you're in for a treat today, which you really, really are. Anna is such an inspiring, beautiful person, also a singer, and beautiful on the inside and out, very, very, very genuine, and what a beautiful trait to have, and someone who can teach us all so much about the angels. The angels are tickling my nose when I said that. So it's a beautiful, I don't know if we'll use the word interview, it's a beautiful chat together with a fellow like-minded author. And I really, really hope you enjoy it today. So let's go straight into the beautiful interview with Anna. And thank you so, so much for coming along. Let's go for it. Enjoy. I'm so excited to have Anna Grace Taylor on the podcast. Say big welcome, Anna. Hooray!
Thank you so much. It's so lovely to be with you.
Yeah, so we're going to just sort of delve into a little bit about your angel journey and how did I mean you've been working with the angels for a long time now, but how did you get into working with the angels?
Wow. I feel as a child, I didn't really have conversations about the angels, but I always knew that I was very sensitive and that I could feel very deeply. So as a teenager, I started to become quite unwell, and I would, often I would go into a restaurant or I would go into a shop and I would suddenly feel sick, or I would get really overwhelmed and I didn't know what was happening. I didn't grow up in a household that had conversations about energy. I didn't really understand anything apart from the fact that, people just thought that I was a bit kind of too much and a bit just ungrounded a lot of the time, I think. And so my understanding of it wasn't really there, but I do think I always had a sense of something other than me. I couldn't really label that as anything. But I started to experience the angels around 2001, when I was going through a really particularly difficult time. And I had healing treatments and acupuncture and massage and reflexology and all of these different things. And I started to have conversations with my therapists about, what all of this was about and the deeper meanings of things. And I was, constantly asking questions. Even at 16, 17, I would talk to them about what was happening in my body. And so by the time I got to about 20, it was just a part of my conversation to have these, spiritual conversations. And one day, in fact, I talk about it a little bit in the introduction to my book.
You do. Here it is. It's beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Because I wanted to give some context to what I was actually experiencing when I've been talking about the angels and how that comes to me. But I was very sick one day and I entered a competition to see Robbie Williams, who was my favourite at the time. I was just, like anyone, I had his music, I had posters, I had various different things. And I got into the studio. I was using a wheelchair at the time because we were in London, it was busy. and a nurse came up to me and said, you know, I can't promise you anything, but I've asked him to come and say hello, and he did. And so, as you can imagine, I was delighted by that. I was so excited, and it was like this big, bright, joyful experience in what had been a very, very difficult time emotionally and physically. And I don't know whether it was because there was an openness there and there was such a magical experience, and maybe it's because he was so well known for the song Angels. I have no idea. But that night I went to bed feeling much more peaceful than I had for a long time. And I remember closing my eyes, and suddenly this huge light just filled my room. Very, very profound. It was like nothing I'd ever seen or felt before. And I knew that it was an angel because it was so deeply loving and so peaceful. And it, from then on, I was like, okay, all right, I feel like this is something I really want to discover more of. I didn't understand even at that time that I could communicate with them, but within a year or so, I found Doreen Virtue's angel therapy practitioner class, and I started to understand, like, oh, I can actually talk to them and they can help me and I can communicate with them. And when I went, I really had no idea. And so that was a massive catalyst to doing what I do now. It's how I also connected with you. It's also, you know, why I have the work that I have, why I've been able to share in different ways, because I suddenly started to give people messages and share with them in a kind of fuller way. I didn't understand really until that point of what was happening to me. And the book is messages that I have received, first of all, for me, or most of them were originally for me, that I would write down just little love notes, and then I started to share them on my Facebook page, and then I would share them with more people. And now it's something that, you know, lots of people read every day. And during lockdown, I just decided, like, oh, okay, it's time to actually share them in a book. So that's my book, Messages of Grace.
Here it is. Really important, isn't it? And I think it would be nice if everybody read it. Don't you?
Well, of course, I'm a bit biased. I would like everyone to read it. But like your book, you know, there's this point where you have all these experiences and these beautiful things that happen and things that you know that really support you as a person, and you've seen that you get to a point where you're like, okay, I want to share this with more people. I want to feel like this is going to be able to be given to more people, because I know the messages aren't just for me. I know that your book isn't just for you. It's for people to feel like they can connect with their angels and that they can receive that support. And I think more than ever, I wanted to be able to share the love and the comfort right now with more people, because, you know, we have had a really challenging time, haven't we, on the planet? And, you know, as sensitive people especially, it can feel a little bit like, what the heck is going on? You know, am I supported? Can I really do this? Are the angels really with me? And the book is them literally talking to you and saying, yes, I'm here with you and I love you and we can support you. And yeah, it's so lovely to share that.
Yeah, it's so important. And like, you know, like you wrote the messages for you, and I didn't know when I was writing my book. Well, I was asked to write my second book, and so obviously I was really excited. Yeah, I'm gonna write it. You know, you're not going to say no, are you? But then I realised afterwards and during the whole time, like you wrote it for you, but then of course that's going to then help so many people. And I was like, blimey, it's like I'm really enjoying reading your messages at the moment. And of course, I realised very strongly after, like my book's down here. I'll just disappear. My book's really battered now because I'm writing it every day. Well, I read it every day.
It's your one.
There it is. But yeah, I talk to angels. So it's like for us, even though we teach this stuff all the time, but it's part of our heart and our soul, and it's not our work. It's just us and our life, isn't it? It just happens to then become our work.
Exactly. I think I was going to say that that's a really important point to make. It wasn't like, oh, I think I'm going to do readings. Oh, I think I'm going to help people with the angels. It was, oh, they can help me and I can support myself doing this, and they are so loving and wow and oh my goodness and this is beautiful. Oh, and then I just happen to be able to share that with others. That becomes my work. I always say the angels aren't my work, they are part of me. They are my experience, and I just happen to be able to be blessed enough to do something I love to support other people as well. So yeah, I completely resonate with that. I think it's so important that it's not a job, or it can be, of course, but it's I feel really strongly that people that I know that adore what they do, and like you, that really live and breathe it, you can really feel that. You can really feel the difference between, this looks like an interesting thing to do versus, this has actually been part of my experience, and that's what I'm sharing. And that's why I shared that in the introduction of my book, is because, it's really easy to feel that it's like a separate thing from, your day-to-day experience. No, I went through something really big. This is what happened to me, but it also can happen to you in the really darkest time of your life, or a really challenging time, or when you really need some support. You don't have to be, a fully clairvoyant, super open person and done loads of classes. And, I was 20 years old, had no CDs, no books. I had one deck of cards, I think. There was no such thing as podcasts or radio shows at that point. It was just, here we go. We're going to share with you. And we're now lucky to be able to do what we do, where we do have lots of different media and various different things. But it can also be really simple. It doesn't have to be super complicated, does it?
No, I think it's just one of those step-by-step things. And the angels are kind of like encouraging me to get you to share with you listening of how does somebody use your book?
Oh, awesome. Yeah. So I wanted to create it as an oracle, so that you don't just read it from cover to cover. I mean, you can do it if you want to, but it's not that kind of book. It's actually a book where you can receive a message every day, or many times a day if you want to whatever it is that you need guidance on at that time. Or you can just say, angels, help me, show me a message. So my favorite way of using it is I just put my hands on the book, and I just say, or I put my hands on my heart and hold the book to my heart, and I'll just say, thank you, angels, for bringing me guidance right now through the book. Thank you for sharing with me what it is I need to know, whatever. Or I might have a particular question that I want guidance on. And then I'll either get a number in my head, and the corresponding number between 1 and 111, because there's 111 notes of love and guidance, or I will simply flip my thumb over the book and I will open to a message, and that will be the message that I need to read right now. So in this case, you have the message, and then you also have a your thoughts page, which is where you can journal, you can continue the conversation with your angels. And also you might want to write the date. Some people have said that to me. They write the date, and then they'll realize that they've received it lots, that particular message, and then go, oh yeah, that's one I really need to pay attention to, because they've received it like 3 times in a row, or whatever it might be. Somebody said that to me the other day. I keep getting that same message, how it happens. This the message I just flipped to actually is your guilt and shame.
And what number is that?
Number 62.
Here we go.
Do you want me to read it?
Yes, that'd be lovely.
It says, Your guilt and shame may feel valid to you, but all they do is hold you hostage and cause you deep pain. They do not serve you or anyone. They only keep you trapped in the past, in the horrible lie that you are wrong, somehow flawed and unlovable. Your human life is full of ups and downs indeed, but nothing you could ever do or not do, be or not be, makes you any less loved or worthy. Drop the knife that is held at your throat. It's time. We love you, your angels. So it's a bit of a big one. That's a big message, isn't it? But you know, we hold so much heaviness around the actions that we might have taken in the past, or we might feel full of shame because we feel different to others, or that somebody has told us that, you know, who we are or who we love or the bodies that we have aren't good enough, or we may be comparing ourselves. And it's the heaviest feeling, isn't it, that shame and that guilt of saying that we are wrong for being who we are. And yeah, it's the opposite of that loving presence, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a strong message. Something I was thinking about before. This is very exciting this week, Anna. Actually, this week I decided that I realised You're going to laugh at this maybe slightly, in a nice way, of course. I fully came out of the angel spiritual closet this week.
Oh, you did?
Now, you might, yes, because you might be a bit surprised, but in my mindfulness Pilates side of my work, I kept it mind and body, right. And a bit, and I hadn't let the angels join me properly.
Oh,
interesting. So now from this week, it's like, well, what do I do work-wise? Obviously, we do it. It's part of us and our life, as we said before. But it's now like, well, actually, I just work with the angels and with whatever it is. So this week, really exciting, I brought angel cards into the mindfulness Pilates for everybody.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and yesterday, guess what? 100% of clients chose an angel card over a positive affirmation card yesterday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I feel more than ever people are wanting so much to feel that loving, supportive presence, and even if they don't understand necessarily in their minds of like what that could be, there's a feeling that everyone in some way wants to experience, which is that love, which is that feeling of I've got you. I feel like we all want to feel like I've got you right now and we can do this. And there's a lot of there's like a bridge, isn't there, where a lot of people will go like, oh, I'm not quite sure about religion, I'm not quite sure about God even, but I can kind of handle the fact that there might be an angel there, you know, because it feels friendly and kind and supportive. And yeah, I really love that. And I do feel like often you can have conversations with people about that and just kind of let them experience what it feels like to receive something that's loving and speak to them about it from that place, rather than it being some sort of grandiose thing, which of course it's not at all, but we've been taught that way, haven't we, that, you know, perhaps it's something unreachable, or that we're supposed to be perfect human beings in order to experience this love. But the angels are completely the opposite. They love us regardless of that human experience. Yeah.
Yeah, it just feels so relaxing when you say that. Yeah, because it's true.
It's true. And that
you feel it then.
And that guilt and shame, you know, so I always think of it, you know, in the context of that message, is we can, oh my goodness, we can drive ourselves crazy, can't we, about, oh, I did this, and oh no, and I, you know, that should never have happened, and oh, when I grew up that happened, and I wish I'd done this, and all of the stories that we tell ourselves, or the worst possible thing that we could ever think about ourselves. And I go, yeah, and the angels love you. And the angels love you. There's nothing that you could have done or said or experienced that would change that. And that's to me, that's what brings me such peace. Yeah.
Yeah, very much so. The word I got when you were saying some of those things, when you're saying about the love, it's like, I don't actually know how to pronounce this word, to be honest, Anna. Enveloped. I don't know how to say it, but enveloped. Yeah, that I say enveloped. I don't know. It's just not really. Yeah,
you're enveloped by it. Yeah,
yeah.
you're surrounded by it. Yeah, absolutely, exactly. And I always say that if you can really describe it, you probably haven't experienced it, because it's not describable, right? But it is that feeling of just being completely enveloped and wrapped up in that love. And yeah, it's so to me, yeah, it's the opposite of that guilt and shame. It's the opposite of that fear, and it's the opposite of us feeling like we are wrong or that we have something to hide. And of course, it doesn't mean that you have to share about the angels with every single person. I always say that I don't really. There is lots of people in my experience that I haven't talked to them about, but that's because I either just know that it's not their thing, or that it's not in the, I'm just doing my shopping and I don't need to talk to them about the angels. But
in the supermarket.
but at the same time, I'm also, if people ask me, I'm not going to be shamed about it. And at this point, especially when I've just released the book and I've shared it with my friends and family, and of course there are people in my life that don't really understand it, but I just say to them, well, just see it as a book of lovely messages. Then you don't have to even see it. To me, even if you're struggling with angels, which of course, if you're listening to this podcast, you probably wouldn't. But if you are, or if there's anyone in your life that is, then you can just see it as this lovely book of messages from a loving space, And that's what I say to people. It's like, you can just read it from that context if you want, But to me, it's all the same. The voice of love, the voice of the divine, the voice of the angels is all the same thing,
Yeah, I think it's interesting what you're saying. I think there's so many different levels of it. I mean, when I started out, I apart from Angels by Robbie Williams being my favourite song, I wasn't particularly into them at all, and I've never heard of an angel card or an angel card reading. And then I, of course, had an epiphany moment where it was the most transformational thing that ever happens to me, having an angel card reading.
Yeah.
And then the relationship started from nothing to an expansiveness of amazingness of
beautiful. Like suddenly that reading was like a big doorway that opened you up to that.
And then going away with your little toolbox of your first deck of angel cards and things. I feel like one of the messages that really jumped out at me today was number 35 in your book. Would you like to read that one?
Have
a little chat about that one.
35. Okay, what's working? It says, take inventory of your life. Spend some time reviewing and reevaluating what is or isn't working for you. Declutter your space and your energy. Take time to tie up loose ends. As you take time to look within, heal, and gain clarity, you create some much needed space ready for new blessings. All is in divine order and you are taken care of now and always. We love you, your angels. That's very apt, given the fact that I think we're about to go into Mercury retrograde.
Yeah.
So, and it's that time of year as well when we're kind of wondering, okay, so what am I preparing for the new year, and what is it that I want to, create space for? Yeah, it's interesting, that, isn't it? And we often we quite like to hold on to things. Again, we like to hold on, don't we? But actually, they're saying, if you can just look at what's really working for you and let the rest go, then that will really open up your own energy and your own space for those things to come in.
So true. It's like there's nothing wrong with what's happening now, but there's better things coming, and if you do that, it allows it to flow and be in that better alignment, and more love and more passion and more excitement and more inspiration. And suddenly you're like, I've been astonished in the last week, Anna and beautiful you listening, like how things have just become so extra sparkly and inspirational by one of your messages very strongly about being yourself. And when you fully 100% embrace being yourself. Which message was that in? I'm just like, there's one of them was really strong on
yeah,
being
yeah,
yourself.
Okay. Oh yeah, in fact, yeah, that's 31. I just literally
that didn't take you long, did it?
I just there we go, there it is. I just went, oh, there it is. Yeah, being yourself. No one knows the truth like you do. No one knows precisely what it's like to be you. So stay on your own path and listen to your own heart. So there's a bit more of that, but it's like, again, we are supposed to be who we are. You know, if we try to pretend to be something or someone, you can guarantee that we're going to get wishy-washy experiences because we're not being, you know, and that's the thing. And you've heard me say a lot on, you know, personally as well, that just like you decided to come out to your class and say, hey, I talk to angels, you know. I'm in this place. I think it's maybe because I turned 40 just in September. So that.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah, the 40s. I do, but I do also feel that it's at this point. It's, you know, I am who I am. You know, if you think I'm weird, then great. You know, I am probably. But also, I'm so comfortable in who I am, and I've spent so long being this me and really diving deeper into me, that it's really taught me that I have had the most incredible people come into my life and the most incredible experiences. So I don't need to be liked by everyone. I don't need to have everyone's approval. I don't need to and I would say that for me, as a sort of recovering people pleaser, has been really transformational because I don't need everyone to be accepting of me, because they're not going to be, are they? We live on a planet with so many other people. There's always going to be people that don't want to hear what we have to say, right?
Yeah, it's true. It's just, yeah, it's very, very true. Something I found interesting reading your book is when I talk to my guardian angel and write with her, she uses some of the same language as when you're writing. So she says she sort of talks in this. I clearly know it's not my voice. She has much better ideas half the time. But it's sometimes quite formal, like dear one. And most people call me Bev, and sometimes I call myself Beverly, but most people do call me Bev, and she'll say dear one and dear Beverly, and then off she goes into what she has to say to me.
It's quite poetic a lot of the time, isn't it? It's quite poetic, it can be.
Yeah, so like on your number 36, you've got the dear one thing going on as well. I was like, oh, other people have dear one as well.
Oh, you mean we've got you? The we've got you message? Do you mean page 36?
Yes, 36, number 36, I think.
Yeah, we've got you. Whenever you call, let me see where she says dear one.
Is it on that one, or is it just on another one? Oh no, sorry, 38. Yeah, sorry, 38.
Okay.
There you go.
Oh, count your blessings. Yeah, she says count your blessings, dear one.
Yeah, exactly.
However small they may seem. It's like there's a few that, and actually they often say that. There's a few messages that they've put it in, but count your blessings, dear one, however small they may seem. Let gratitude lift you up and out of victimhood and into empowerment. Focus on what is good in your life, and we promise that more reasons to be grateful shall come to you, not because you are more deserving, you're always deserving, but because your energy becomes wide open to the blessings that have been and always will be yours forever and ever. We love you, your angels. So yeah, dear one is like, and it feels like I think what they like to do is to help us to feel that really super loving, nurturing presence, and yeah, it's really funny. I had and you'd think that I'd be used to it by now, but I had a message from one of my guides, actually, very short and to the point and very like succinct, while I was having a bit of a wobble this weekend. And okay, I'm going to say who it was, because I actually think I did mention it in my newsletter, so it's not a private thing. But Princess Diana sometimes comes to see me, and I was really in a bit of distress about about, you know, what was lacking in my life. I just felt the real emptiness of that, and I think it was probably hormonal, but I was really feeling the sadness of what had not been in my life. And she said, stay the course, Anna. Now, for a start, I don't say stay the course. I have never said stay the course in my life, but it made me go, whoa, hang on a second. And so I stopped for a minute and just went, thank you for that. But it is another example of, it can be the simplest thing, like dear one, or stay the course, or whatever it is. But because it's not in the voice that you would speak, it makes you go, hang on a second, what was that? Because you know that that's not something, I've never said that to anyone in my life. You know, I don't know what that is. I in fact, I had to kind of go, what does she mean by that? She meant like, stay focused, stay on the journey, keep your eyes focused on what you're doing, really stay the course of what it is that you are here to experience. Don't divert from that. Don't try to push it away. And but in those 3 words, it was like, okay, I'm paying attention. And so I do believe that they speak to us in a way that's really going to go help us to remember, whether it's through the feeling of the love that we're experiencing, like you and I experienced when we first saw the angel or felt the angels, or in their language, because it feels so different to the pain that we might be in, or the experience that we're having in that moment. And it's that kind of jolt out of that, isn't it?
Yeah, it brings your attention. Like when I'm now writing, it's funny, so obviously I've written a lot. Where's my battered ones down there? But I've written a lot in my book, but I only write, it's funny, I only write messages from the angels in there, or basically I don't write any, you know, like you were saying, there was challenges at the weekend and blah blah blah, this is upsetting me and all of this. I only write inspirational guidance that's come in. And like I'm really enjoying that with yours now. Like I was reading number 37 message, and I just found it funny, so it just made me laugh, some of it. And
keep your heart open.
Yeah, but there was something in it that it just made me smile. It made me laugh. I found something in it funny. And sometimes I'll just write little things like that. And then other times, the first time I used your book, it's nice having that extra journaling space. It's really important because you can go deeper with it as well on that personal basis. And because we use our books kind of like the divinely guided and with the angels, but you're aiming to pick a number with yours, and I went and picked a page number, didn't I, first time?
That's right, that's okay.
But it's okay.
You were obviously meant to just have that blank space, and that
exactly
came out at you.
Yeah,
and there's no right, I mean, there is really no right or wrong. I want to say,
there isn't.
If you are meant to turn to a page, then that's the page that you're going to turn to. But that's why I decided to do sort of 111 messages, because 111 means something to me. It's always been a sign to me. And I wanted to find a way to be able to share different messages. And people often ask me, is there relevant numbers to certain messages? And there wasn't. I decided I would do them randomly because I couldn't pick certain numbers to go with the messages. But the one exception to that is the double digits. So 11, 22, 33, 44 and onwards, they are what I call longer messages. So they're the more in-depth ones, because I wanted to put them somewhere. And I thought, actually, they'd be perfect for those kind of key numbers. So if you pick a double digit number or 111, you'll get that longer message where it kind of delves a little bit deeper into a subject. But and they were messages that actually had originally either been a blog or something that I had written as, you know, as my newsletter, or something that some of them were just directly for me at the time, like, this is what we want to share with you and here it is. And they're the ones that kind of really go deeper into a space where you can really sit with them.
Yeah, I get the word kind of like profound with those ones, and you're going to be so lucky. Everyone's going to be, well, you listening going to be so lucky today, because you're going to have a beautiful one in meditation with Anna in a moment. Just one last thing I wanted to talk about before we go and delve into meditation today is you've got lovely angel prayers in the book too, haven't you?
Yeah, there's a couple of angel prayers. Let me just see if I can. Yeah, there's a blessing. There's, because actually, do you know what, this is one of the things about working with the angels, as you know, that sometimes the changes at the last moment in books or projects are the things that are supposed to be in there, right?
Yeah.
Because I wasn't going to put any of those extra ones in, but I wanted to make sure that each of your thoughts pages were on the right side of the book, as in the right page. And it meant that there was a couple of extra pages that didn't do that. And so I was like, okay, what extra can I put in there? And there was a few different things that came up. So yeah, there is an angel prayer in there to thank the angels for their presence. There's an angel blessing in there. There's a couple of poems that I had written going through challenging times that were also about connecting more deeply with ourselves and with the angels. So yeah, it just felt like the right addition, you know.
Yeah, it just feels perfect. It just feels perfect. How about we go into the meditation with like the angel prayer
into the meditation.
Into the rest of the meditation.
Oh yeah, that would be lovely. Actually, you know, this is perfect because they're next to each other. And then the message is next to.
Oh, that is so funny. I've just realised that.
I was just about going, where's that 44? Oh, there it is. It's the angel prayer.
I was like, oh, that's on page 106. And that was number 44. And now they are next to each other. That just feels perfect.
It's obviously part of it. But yeah, do you want to just say anything before I start?
Just love you all to really enjoy this beautiful meditation with the angels with Anna. So just get yourself really comfy for meditation. Sitting or lying down, and I'm going to bring some gorgeous music in for you now, and Anna will get you to close your eyes and relax and go into the beautiful meditation with her now.
Awesome. So just as Bev said, just really allow yourself just to receive this time for you and to be in that still, quiet space where you can connect to your angels and all the beautiful love that they have for you. And we thank you, angels, for being here with me, for surrounding me with your love, for reminding me that I am love. Thank you for helping me trust that I am forever connected to you, for giving me guidance I can easily understand, for giving me the courage to follow it one step at a time. Thank you for supporting me as I shine my light, for leading me to beautiful opportunities, for helping me embrace my gifts and learn from my challenges. Thank you for uplifting my mind and opening my heart, for all the blessings and miracles in my life, for reminding me that I am a miracle. So breathing that in, allowing the angels to come closer to you, feeling their loving energy enveloping you. And this message is called Your Light. There is a light within you, a light that is you. Like the sun, it is always there, even when it seems hidden by the clouds. A light that says, I'll try again tomorrow. A light that makes everything clearer and brighter. This light is entirely inextinguishable and infinite. The light of 1,000,000 stars, the light of 100,000 angels. Your light is not separate from us. You are an extension of the divine that you call upon. When you call upon the light, you are indeed asking for a reminder of you, the you that is connected to all that is. You are calling upon the magnificent you that has been brought to earth to share your light in human form, the you that is powerful beyond measure. Do not be afraid of your light. Shine it brightly. You were born to shine. For your light can do no harm, and those who feel threatened or intimidated by your light are simply afraid of their own. Do not let them deter you, but equally do not force your light upon others. Your light is indeed a powerful force in the world, but it need not be forced. Your light is your light. Just be the light. Let it go where it goes. Shine because it makes you feel good. Shine for all the people who are ready to wake up from their slumber. Shine for all the hearts who are meant to find you. Do not be fooled, however, into thinking that your light must be drained to help another. Be a beacon, be a lighthouse, be a guide for those who should find themselves struggling. But remember that you are not their source of light. Your light is your light. Their light is theirs. By owning your light, by standing in your truth, you light the way for others to come back to theirs. And one by one, light shines around the world. Your light is so needed. Keep showing up. Keep shining. Thank you, beautiful one. We love you. You're angels. So feel that beautiful light within you. Take a deep breath. Let it expand and glow within you. And as you breathe out, let that beautiful light glow all around you, filling your space, your room, and out into the world. And just when you're ready, feeling that light within you, you can open your eyes and come back feeling all nice and bright and shiny.
Thank you so much, Anna, for that. How are you feeling after that at home or wherever you're listening to this right now? Wasn't that just so, so beautiful? Maybe have a glass of water afterwards or a lovely cup of tea. Anna, thank you so much for that beautiful meditation. That was just so divine.
Oh, you're so welcome. I really felt lots of goose pimples, angel bumps around me when I was doing that. So they were definitely gathering around everyone, and I'm really honoured to be able to share it with you and your listeners, Bev. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's really lovely. I just think, each person will have their own experience of that. I think it's lovely just to feel that and experience that as a meditation. That's just so gorgeous. And I think just the words that just fall out at me is the light bit about that. Your light is your light and their light is their light, and I just love that bit.
Yeah, because we don't have to try again. It comes back to that similar thing, doesn't it? Of like, we don't have to try to be different, and you don't have to make somebody else different. It's like your light is yours. You stay in your light and your truth, and they do their thing, and you don't have to control it. You don't have to change it. You don't have to make somebody else see it or not see it. it just is what it is, right?
Yeah, that's lovely. Have you got any parting words you'd love to say to everyone? I think the meditation says it all, and the chat.
I think the meditation says it all.
But what, is there any one last parting lovely word you'd love to say?
No, just that, you know, I'm just really honoured to be able to share, and also I feel like at this time, it's really, really important that when things are challenging, that we come back to those truths that might feel really simple to hear or easy to hear, but you know, in the difficult times, it's when we come back to that light, and when we come back to, oh, here I am, here's my truth, here's my heart, I'm doing okay, even if things are challenging. We take one step at a time in that space of light. We take one moment at a time. Sometimes we take each moment at a time and staying present. Then we can move through in this journey a lot easier. So try to stay as present as possible right now. It feels like it's really important to do that, to remember that when we focus on our light, we always inspire another person, and that we absolutely can call on the angels at any time to support us in that.
Yeah, that's so beautiful. And what's your website where everyone can find you?
My website is annagracetaylor.com, and you'll find details of all my social media. I'm very present on Facebook and Instagram, especially. Very present. And I'm also on YouTube. I share weekly angel readings there, and just I love social media. So if you want to connect with me on a more regular basis, I would love to see you there.
Yeah, lovely. And remind everybody what your book's called.
It's Messages of Grace, 111 Notes of Love and Guidance from Your Angels, and it's available now on paperback like this, which I recommend, or as an ebook on Amazon.
Yeah, exactly. It's beautiful. As are you inside and out. So thank you.
So are you, Bev.
Yeah. Oh, bless your cotton sock. Thank you. And thank you so much for coming on the I Talk to Angels podcast today. Lots of love.
My pleasure. Bye-bye.
Bye, lots of love. Thank you for listening to this episode of the I Talk to Angels podcast. Please rate and review on your podcast platform. You can access my free angel healing meditation on my website. You can get a signed copy of my book, I Talk to Angels, which includes a free manifestation meditation with the angels. You can also book your one-to-one coaching and angel card reading by going to angeliclifestyle.com.